Okay, so now I have to ask you this question. When did you first share your faith?
What's really funny is I grew up, my dad was an evangelist, so we traveled a lot, and he taught us one of the most important things. He said, you need to love everybody to the kingdom, love everybody toward Jesus. And I saw my dad work with some of the roughest, hardest people, inviting people to our house for Bible studies. And I remember I think I was in the fourth grade on a Saturday morning in Los Angeles. My dad would send my brother and I out to find Mormon missionaries, going door to door in the communities. And at that time, people, would say harsh things about them or slam doors in their faces. My dad said, "No, we need to love them. Invite them over to our house for a Bible study." And my mom would bake cookies, and I just grew up watching my dad love people well. So I remember the first time I ever shared my faith was I was in elementary school, and I had a friend that wasn't going to church, a neighborhood kid. We used to ride bikes together and hang out and watch movies, and I remember sitting down with him. I think we were out, doing something in the neighborhood, and I was probably in the sixth grade, and I didn't know really what I was doing. I just knew that he needed Jesus, and I remember sitting down and I used the lamest, probably evangelistic strategy ever. I said, "Hey, I'll be your best friend if you accept Jesus." That's just, and he was already my best friend, but I thought, hey, man, and he looked at me and he said, I remember he looked at me and said, "Hey, I don't know if I really believe in Jesus." And I remember walking away going, "But wait a minute." I thought this is based on us being friends, and we still stayed friends. But I remember as a kid, stumbling my way through. And then once I finally got to high school, I was actually really went through some hard times as a high school kid. We moved, settled into a new school, started getting into trouble, started getting a bad rap. I was going to the principal's office every day, failing school. I mean, I was in a rough spot, but had a couple mentors, a youth pastor, my parents, who really encouraged me and helped me. And I came out of that dark season really on fire for Jesus. And I think that was a pivotal time for me where I thought, I really need the Lord to speak. I need the Holy Spirit to help me engage in conversations with classmates, friends, teammates. Started doing mission trips when I was in high school. I think that was really the time when I felt a calling or mission to, like, hey, we need to share the gospel and really lean into that.